day you left for Marseille, I drove to the airport. I went to the gift shop and I saw this necklace. It was gold, said Stillwater on it. I thought it'd be a little piece of home to take with you.
Tom, how are you doing today?
I'm well, Rory. How are you?
I'm not too bad at all. Are you in Cannes at the moment?
I am. I'm in a Marriott in Cannes.
Very nice. And that must feel like the first proper big step towards, the finality, I guess, of this.
Absolutely. I hope so. And yes, being here, being in a junket and, most specifically just premiering the movie for 2,000 people and seeing it on a big screen and getting a chance to share the film and in the country that we made the film, that was a memorable night.
Well, I have to not only congratulate you on this movie, but like your CV is impressively eclectic in that there's so few people out there who would do a Pixar movie and then do Spotlight and then do a movie like this. What is it that kind of jumps out at you? You decide, right, this is what I'm going to spend the next portion of my life dedicated to?
Well, exactly that, right? You spend a lot of your time and energy, thinking about it, writing about it, making it, talking about it. It's got to be something that you're interested in, something you can really invest your time and energy and feel excited about. And a movie like Stillwater has so many levels and themes and layers, and that there was just a lot to chew on as a person who likes to consider ideas and write about things. So all of that for sure. And then, the opportunity to come make a movie abroad, I feel like I'm marrying my two great passions, filmmaking and travel, and I'm folding them into one, and to live in a city as unique and special as Marseille and to work with some really talented people, obviously Matt Damon and Kemi Cotton and Abigail and Lee Lu, my whole cast, but just my crew and my producers and everyone. It's just like, if I'm doing that creatively, I'll work till they take it away from me.
And I have to say as well that this film specifically, like there were scenes that there's sometimes it feels like almost like a romantic comedy. Then there's scenes that almost feel like a legal thriller. And they do kind of segue so nicely from one to the next. There's no like abrupt kind of, that was that tone and now this is this tone. Was that difficult to kind of corral? Was that something you did like as you were shooting it, or was that something you found more?
Well, it's something the writers, yeah. Look, I had an initial draft of the script many years ago that was a thriller, and I just didn't like the movie enough to direct it. And I reapproached it with two French writers, Thomas Bidigan and Noé Debray. And the three of us really hammered on this. We really started from scratch, and we really were trying to follow the flow of the story in the film and try to create something that was original. And the most important thing in sort of marrying these storylines and even genres elements is tone, right? The tone has to be even throughout, so that even if it does feel like a lighter romantic moment or a funny moment or a father-daughter moment, or like something that is both thrilling and suspenseful, you have to believe the tone. And we felt like for this movie to work, we really had to ground Bill and this world and these characters in reality. Like we had to believe how they met. We had to believe how Virginie took him in. We had to believe that Bill would go down this road and make these mistakes and ultimately make some really bad choices. We had to account for that. And that really started in grounding the film. And I felt like my biggest job as director is to make sure that the tone remains even and out, even when the story changes rhythm, the pace, and maybe even genre to some extent. I think probably that was one of our biggest tasks in this one.
Well, I have to congratulate because it was done successfully. So
thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much.
And just as a final question, as I am calling from Ireland, I'm wondering, are you aware of the impact, I guess, Spotlight had on Irish audiences particularly? Because I do remember going to see it twice in the cinema, and both times as the end credits rolled and you see some of the locations at the end and they are based in Ireland, there were individuals in the screen who were like seriously impacted just knowing that story was finally getting out there. So I'm curious, have you heard or have you felt any particular
I have. I get kept up to, I read a bit and then keep up to pace, and people reach out a lot. And I went over to Ireland, as you probably know, to do my press over there when it came out, and I could just feel it in the conversations I was having with the press, I was having after screenings, people coming up to me. And there's been a real reckoning with the Catholic Church in Ireland, a place where the Catholic Church held a lot of sway and still means a lot to a lot of people. And I think it's a struggle, right? But to see that to feel like I had some small part in that, movement, for lack of a better word on it, is it's very heartening. It was a wonderful experience, and dealing with a very painful issue. And so I take that seriously, and I'm moved to know that it had some impact.
Fantastic. Tom, thank you so much for your time today.
Now, is your station Joe?
It's JOE.ie. Yep.
I love that. Well, nice to meet you.
You too. Have a good one.
Have a great day now.
Police.
Did you ask her to lie?
I'm trying to get my little girl out of jail. That's all I give a damn about.
You sound very American right now.
Good. I am.
Yeah, and you're also a stranger here.
What did you do?
You just have to trust me.